Hello and welcome back to FrogboyX1 Gaming. I'm Andrew and today I want to talk about AAA games. So, if you like this content, don't forget to like and subscribe, and let's get started with this. So, I keep saying so a lot, I know, I'm trying to work on that, but as this generation rolls on, and I start to look at more and more of these AAA games that keep coming out, it's getting harder and harder and harder for me to be impressed by them. Like, I get that the new visuals are going to be fine or whatever. Like, I mean, I do want better looking games, but I want, things to be more like, make the environments look better, make stuff like that look better. I mean, I'm not asking for like over the hills better. I do want things to look better. But with these AAA games that keep coming out, I keep finding myself looking at them like, gosh dang, man, I just want more. I just want like better. They feel so empty. They feel so superficial that it's like, yeah, they look good and they got a story, but I mean, like, take Horizon Forbidden West, for instance. And I do bring that up because technically that is the best looking game on the PlayStation 5 right now to date. And it is the highest quality story, newest game on the PlayStation right now to date. And I keep thinking back over my playthrough of this game. Like the honeymoon phase with like, oh my gosh, this looks great. Playing through it, getting to experience Aloy's new journey. And then when I'm done with it, I played through this game the day it came out. I can't remember half of the stuff that went on in this game. And I spent 24 hours with it, going through it, and like my memory fragmentation of that game is just like, wow, dude, like what happened? What did I experience? I probably do have to play through it a second time. Now, I mean, if I look back to another game of last generation that I played through and I beat, Death Stranding. I remember a lot of Death Stranding. Like, I remember so much of that game, it's not even funny. Like Hartman and Mama and just all the characters in there and the things that would happen, like being on the beach and talking to, and talking to, dang, did I really forget her name? Well, she wasn't in there that much to where it was like, oh my gosh, like I just, for some reason, I don't remember her name, but like, I played this back when it first came out, and like, I can still remember like Die Hard Man. I can still remember like all of these guys and all of the story beats that like came with them. Not like super vividly or anything. Like don't. I mean, like I can't like recite like conversations word for word or anything. But that game was so impactful on my mind that I remember a lot of it, and I'm like, wow, that was such a good story. And then if I sat here and I thought about it hard enough, I could remember a whole bunch of it. If I just sat here and I was like, yeah, I mean, I can remember. I remember how the game starts out. I remember like the midsection. I remember the end of the game. I remember so much of that. With Horizon Forbidden West, that game just felt so shallow and so just like, I don't know. It was like kind of hem-hawed together. I mean, I do remember some of it, but I mean, like, for the most part, like nothing like really jumped out at me like, oh my gosh, this is the best story ever made. And the reason why I'm talking about this today is because of the way the PlayStation fanboys, like just the things they say about like, like Xbox games or just other games in general. And it's like, come on, guys. Just be honest, man. Like, quit coming to my channel and, like, starting, like, your little problems over here, because I'm a real gamer, and I have these real experiences with the PlayStation, and I tell people about them, because I want to save you $70, man. If you're not going to enjoy that experience, and it's not going to be worth it to you, like, I want you to know that, like, yeah, dude, you can definitely wait a little while for this to go on sale and then pick it up, and then you'll be fine. I didn't start this channel to, like, to become some Xbox fanboy channel. Like, I really didn't do that. I started this channel to share my experiences with the games I buy, because I buy so many games. I that's the whole reason I started this channel. And it's like these AAA bangers, or whatever that everybody calls them. It's like, I play through these games now, and I'm just like, yeah, it was good, whatever, I mean, it kept me entertained, because, I mean, they usually do. They keep me entertained, because I'm just like, oh, man, I just got to get through it, and then after the fact, when I just sit back and I think about my experience, it's like every day that goes by, it just, that game gets less relevant. And that's because I have played some bangers last generation. The Witcher 3. I played, Death Stranding. I played so many games last generation. Assassin's Creed Odyssey. And these games that I played, like, I remember vividly, and I'm like, wow, these were freaking great games. And then I look back at all these PlayStation first-party games, and I'm like, yeah, they looked good. I mean, you could be either way with The Last of Us 2, because, I mean, that game was technically either way. I mean, some of the better games that were Sony, that were PlayStation exclusives, like Bloodborne and all the other ones that were like third-party games that they built, those were good. Like, I look back and I look at God of War. God of War was an impactful story, because, I'm older, I'm a dad, I got a son, I mean, that story resonated with me, like a dad, and a son, so, I mean, that resonated with me. But when you look at the bigger picture of what God of War was and what it brought to the gaming space was, I mean, it didn't really bring anything new that we haven't seen gameplay-wise. It was kind of a slow-paced story. It was slow, and it was deliberately slowed down so that it was like, so that you could, catch that moment or whatever. I'm not saying that it's a bad game or anything by any means. Like, it was one of my, I mean, it is one of my favorite games. And I do like it, but I mean, The Witcher 3 was a much better game. Assassin's Creed Odyssey to me was a much better game. You notice how I say game? Like, these were much better games. Like, they entertained me longer. They were a much better experience. I remember more of Halo Infinite story than I do of Horizon Forbidden West. And I played Halo Infinite a couple months before that one even came out. And like, I remember the story beats of Halo, and I was like, wow, man, this Halo is actually pretty good, man. I really liked that game. And I mean, the story wasn't like this super overbearing story. It was like, no, man, it was good enough to like keep me engaged and like get me through the game, and like, and I was able to have more fun, like enjoying, the open world space of Halo Infinite than I was enjoying the open world space of Horizon Forbidden West. And I'm not saying that Horizon Forbidden West is a bad game, because I do like it. I'm just saying that, like, it wasn't like this over the top, like, oh my gosh, this is like the best game ever. I mean, I play a game like Elden Ring, and Elden Ring, whenever I pick that game up and play it, like, I'm still in no hurry to beat that game, because I know it's good, and I want to explore that and fully enjoy and embrace what the team at From Software created with that game, because it is freaking literally a masterpiece to me. That'll probably be my favorite game, like one of my top favorite games this generation, like no question about it. And that's the thing. Well, let me just get to the main point of this, because we're getting kind of long. Are these AAA bangers really AAA bangers, or are they just safe games that are overhyped, that are designed so that when you buy them, you have a whole lot of front-loaded honeymoon phase with them, and there's just so much hype surrounding them, and everybody's parroting like, oh my gosh, it's so great, it's so great, it's so great, and that's all you're hearing, or are I that's just kind of the way I feel about them. I don't necessarily think that I think that they're stuck in this little circle, like this little loop of building the same game over and over and over again, and I'm just not as impressed with them as I used to be. I mean, I played a game I'm playing a game right now, Spellforce 3. I'm more impressed with Spellforce 3 and the experience that it's giving me, and I'm having fun with it than I am any of these AAA bangers, man. These AAA bangers that like I play through them and I just don't really even care that much about them anymore. Yes, I want Xbox to make some better games. I do. But I don't want them to go. I don't want them to chase Sony. I don't want them to chase what Sony's doing. I really don't. I would much rather have more gameplay and more systems and more functions and more just interesting gameplay, maybe bigger worlds to explore, than these little closed off bilinear, they look linear, open world games that that Sony creates. I mean, they look great, whatever. I mean, yeah, they look good. They look good. When you go to a cutscene and they look way better, and then you go back to the regular gameplay, you're like, oh gosh, can't we just watch another cutscene? That's how I feel. That's how I feel, man. So I mean, if you're one of the little Sony fan guys that are gonna come into my comments and, hey guys, you need to go to the doctor, whatever, guys, whatever, man. That's how I feel. Yeah, they look fine. They look great. I'm really to the point where I'm just gonna be like, oh my gosh, dude, these Sony games are literally tech demos. Like, where's the gameplay? Where's that Sony that I used to know, that I used to love, that I used to, that I had so many memories on? Shout out to BitCloud Gaming. He put together this whole list of these PlayStation games, man. And I was going through this list and I'm looking at them and I'm like, gosh dang, man. I have so many good memories of PlayStation, and I do, guys. Like, I really do. I'm struggling. I want to love these games. Like, I do. I want to love them, and I want to just look at them and be like, oh my gosh, these are the greatest. But man, I'm struggling. I'm struggling really bad. I just don't know if the pretty visuals and the movie-like stories are going to get me through. Especially paying $70 for these. $70. That's a lot of money. I mean, we're going to see one this weekend. I'm going to pick up the Quarry, and I'm going to play through that. I'm going to live stream that for you guys. And I mean, that's $70, man, for a 12-hour game that I'm going to play through it, and we're going to, yeah. I'm hoping that maybe just me playing through it and some of you guys watching the game will decide. I mean, if it's something that you guys want. Like, I don't want to really spoil it, but I do. I want to play through this game live stream so that everybody can see exactly how I'm feeling about it. And I don't know, man. $70 is a lot of money, especially when that's half. That's almost. It's getting pretty close to being half of what I have to put in my truck to fill it. So that's getting pretty ridiculous, man. For one video game, for one video game. I used to feel like I got more out of it, but now I feel like it's less than a tank of gas. Like I don't know, man. Like, is that value still there? It used to feel like it was more value. Now I just don't feel like the value is really there. So if you like this content, don't forget to like and subscribe. This is just one of my friendly neighborhood fanboy rants, dude. So just have fun, man. Just play the games. Just remember, they're all video games. That's all. They're just freaking video games. There's no reason to get all twisted up over it, man. It's just video games. We're just having fun. We're just trying to find something to entertain us, and I'm just trying to help do my part. So, like I said, if you like this content, don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. What the freak? I knew that fight couldn't be that easy. That was a bit too easy.
My name is Rani the Witch. Mother's rich slumber shall not be disturbed by thee. Foul trespasser,
Oh boy.
send word far and wide. Of the last queen of Caria, Renala of the full moon.
Oh,
And the majesty of the night she conjureth.
Wonder. Whoa, sheesh. That wasn't fair, lady. That really wasn't fair. Are you kidding me? I gotta beat all that again.